Hello, BookTube. I have a package here and a story about UPS's nonsense. This book arrived for me from the United Kingdom. And, well, first of all, it took a rather roundabout route. The tracking showed it, instead of coming directly to Canada, UPS sent it from the United Kingdom to Philadelphia, from Philadelphia on to Kentucky, from Kentucky back to Philadelphia and back to the United Kingdom, and then from the United Kingdom back to Philadelphia and on to Canada, finally. But there were also import fees to collect on delivery, and UPS hounds you with emails warning you that there are fees due, and they give you an online payment option. But then that online payment option apparently goes off into God knows where, and they leave the charge pending on your account for a full week, and then the driver demands you pay it a second time and won't give you your package when he shows up at the door, and then tells you there's no record of your online payment because their system is broken. And so you pay it twice and are feeling very frustrated, and then thankfully see that the online pending charge has disappeared from your credit card, and you've in fact only, thankfully, paid the $27.20 once and not twice. But anyway, the book has arrived. I'm a little bit pissed with UPS because that's not good customer service. Why offer that online payment option if you're not going to issue a receipt, not going to have the driver have any record of it, and make the person physically submit their credit card information twice? It's just utter nonsense. I'm not in the mood for it. So this book better be good. This book better be everything that I hoped it was going to be. So we've got it wrapped up in cardboard here. And it looks like we've got some grocery advertising here underneath the bubble wrap. Well, let's get this placemat out of the way. We will get the book out, get the cardboard out of the way, and I might have to set this down to get the bubble wrap off. And now I'm just curious at this UK grocery flyer. What is that? You could get 2 margarita pizzas for £3 or I guess £1.99 each. Some carnation milk on there. But oh, look at that. Look at that corner there. And if you haven't guessed yet by the title, this is a Hugh Thomson illustrated edition. The ladies and gentlemen with their fans, and it's hard to tell what exactly that looks like a fan. I suppose that must be a fan too, that the gentleman in the heeled shoes is wearing. But this is the Hugh Thomson illustrated, The School for Scandal by Richard Brinsley Sheridan. And I chose a copy that was in very nice condition. And I purposely chose a copy that was going to ship from the United Kingdom as opposed from a bookstore in the United States. I thought I was going to be able to bypass the United States altogether. But it turns out they shipped it through the States, which was a little bit miffed about, because I think that's why it took so long, because it got lost in their strange distribution system. Oh, basmati rice. I think we have, well, there's something with the packaging that looks the same here, but we don't call it Layla. I wonder if that's the same brand as the Tilda, or if they just happen to have similar looking packaging just by coincidence. We'll throw that out of the way there. Get our knife out of the way. Beautiful book. And I think this should be the same size as my J.M. Barrie Quality Street edition. which I think is about 21 centimeters by 27 centimeters. 21 across, 27 down the side. The spine here, of course, is faded, sunned a bit, as you would expect. With any book of this age that is purple. But the front board still has that rich purple about it. All this wonderful gilt and the fans. And I've never read School for Scandal. So this will be a first time read for me in this beautiful edition. And I'm just going to pause this and make sure the receipt with my address is not on the inside. Yep, that was a good call on my part, because right tucked inside here in the end papers was the receipt. The book description, no date, presumed first thus. Large quarto, 196 pages, fully illustrated by Hugh Thomson. Publisher's cloth, elaborate gilt decoration. Some discoloration to spine and edges, light rubbing to head and tail of spine, a little browning/spotting to end papers. Otherwise, contents clean and bright. Overall, a very good copy. Heavy additional shipping required. Yes, the shipping was rather high for this volume. As they said, a little bit of discoloration there. Our frontispiece, Lady Teazle, stepping out of, I don't think it's a carriage. I'm actually not sure what they're called. It looks like one of those little enclosed seats that a number of men would physically pick up and carry, not drawn by a horse, but carried by men. There is our title page. Two women chatting, possibly gossiping about something. Lovely. Hotter and stout in London, New York, and Toronto. Illustrations in color, strong tea and scandal. If you've read The School for Scandal, let me know in the comments how you liked it. I know it's sort of an old classic, not much read today, but there was a time when local playhouses would put it on all across North America, from what I understand. There's our prologue there. And strong tea and scandal. Wonderful dresses. Right down to the clock and the vase on the mantelpiece. Everything beautifully detailed. There is our Act 1. Lady Sneerwell discovered at her toilet. Snake drinking chocolate? That is something that I don't understand, not having read this. Lady Sneerwell's dressing room. This one's titled Lady Sneerwell's Dressing Room, once again. Lovely yellow dress. There's a man preparing a wig, it looks like, in the back room. And a somewhat mischievous looking gentleman having a cup of tea. So I slipped out and ran hither, from Act 1, Scene 1. Mrs. Candor, my dear Lady Sneerwell, how have you been this century? Lady Frizzle's feather. This mistake threw the whole company into a fit of laughter. Wonderful. I'm very sorry also to hear some bad stories against him. think, yeah, there's an illustration here. Fairly quarreled before the bells had done ringing. Assuming that is a couple who have just married. Enter Sir Peter and Lady Teazle. A room in Peter Teazle's house. I ought to have my own way in everything, and what's more, I will too. Interesting design on her dress to show the ruffles. When I saw you first. In her room, intent on her sewing. And it looks like we have two people in the mirror peering in through a door. And a handkerchief on the floor. So goodbye to ye. Stuck down to an old spinet to strum my father to sleep. And there she is, playing in the corner as her father falls asleep with some wine in his armchair and the dog's already asleep on the floor. Maria sits down to piquet with Joseph Sunface. It's a game of cards, and it looks like they're the only ones playing cards. Let's make sure I'm not missing anything here. But I leave my character behind me, Act 2, Scene 2. Gentleman exiting a room. By all that's honest, I swear, Act 2, Scene 2. Perhaps some sort of lover's quarrel or a lover's rejection as another woman walks in on whatever's happening with this couple here. Yeah. Act 3, Scene 1, a room in Sir Peter Teazle's house. There, my note of hand will do as well. Lovely. There's a little dog on the sofa next to her. Oh, I think I may have... No, I didn't miss one. Sophie laughed at me for thinking of marrying. There's the dog again. It looks like the same dog that was on the sofa. Busy, perhaps sewing at a handkerchief. We have this gentleman taking some snuff on the side of the first page of Scene 2. Let the toast pass. Can see the moon, partly obscured by clouds outside the window. Act 4, Scene 1. The picture room in Charles Surface's house. What parchment have we here? What do you see, Mr. Premium? Look at him. There's a hero. Act 4, Scene 1. Two almost identical looking men, one climbing on a chair with some sort of rolled up paper parchment, perhaps a plan. Charles bows ceremoniously to the pictures. Just making sure I'm not missing anything. Here's a man who appears to be yawning as he reads his books by candlelight. Joseph, gaping, throws away the book. Hung, I perceive, with mas or maps. I'm not sure what that letter is meant to be. Maps. I think it's meant to be maps, because these do indeed look like maps on a library wall. She is peering around into the library, or perhaps he's peering. Maybe they're both peering. Lady Teasel peeping. Couldn't I steal off? Look at that wonderful pattern on her dress, the flowers. One day, when I called here from Act 4, Scene 3, oh, there's our maps in the background again. Lady Teasel, by all that's wonderful. In the library once again. Enter Joseph Surface and Servant, Act 5, Scene 1. Make sure I'm not missing anything here. I never laughed more in my life. Have to wonder what they're laughing at. I guess I'll find out when I read. And see, she is in tears. Oh, just a spot of dirt, or it almost looks like smudgy ash in there or something. See if I can clean that bit out. Out with him, to be sure. This man in his pink coat appears to be being escorted from the library. And make my respects to the scandalous college. There she is in that wonderful gown again. And an epilogue. And that is the end of our illustrations there. But I will stand up from this creaky chair to give an overhead view of the book and all its beautiful glory. The latest addition to my Hugh Thomson collection.